In the 3rd millennium BC, two titans of civilization rose simultaneously. One, a story of conquest and legend. The other, a mystery of order and scale. This is Sargon of Akkad. From a mysterious birth in a reed basket, he forged the world's first empire through sheer military genius and will. Thousands of miles east, the Harappan civilization built the first planned cities. Their obsession with standardization and urban planning was millennia ahead of its time. Though distinct, they were connected. Sargon's empire and the Harappan cities thrived on a vibrant trade network, exchanging goods and ideas across the ancient world, and left a legacy of empire and war. The other, a puzzle of peace and precision. Both civilizations, foundational to our own.
From the heights of a divine empire to the depths of barbarian chaos, this is the story of the Akkadians' rise and their fall. Under Sargon's son, Manishtushu, the empire prepared for expansion. He boasted of conquering new lands, though his claims were often more smoke than fire. But it was Naram-Sin the Great who would push the empire to its zenith, declaring himself a living god, the king of the universe. But from the mountains came a new threat, the Gutian barbarians, a force of destruction that would shatter the empire's order forever. The Gutian invasion brought widespread chaos. Roads became unsafe, fields lay barren, and the bright light of civilization seemed to fade. From the ashes, Gudea of Lagash emerged, freeing his city and restoring the sacred temples, beginning the slow process of recovery. Utuhegal of Uruk would finish the job, driving the Gutians from the land and claiming the title of King of the Four Quarters. Though his rise was bloody, Urnamu brought a final renaissance. He restored law, order, and prosperity, uniting the land once more under the 3rd dynasty of Ur.
Today, I will introduce to you the decline process of ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom. From 2450 to 2184 BC, the excesses of the pharaohs troubled the Egyptian people, and the Old Kingdom came to an end. Khufu, the builder of the Great Pyramid, and his son Khafre poured so much energy into building that they neglected the gods and oppressed their people, who came to hate them. Khafre also left another monument, the Sphinx, a half-lion, half-eagle statue claiming the protection of Egypt's most powerful gods. His son, Menkaure, reversed course, ruling kindly and reopening temples. But his smaller pyramid was a clear sign of the pharaoh's fading authority. Tyranny may have caused the dynasty to end, but there is another factor. Inbreeding. The royal family's limited genetic pool may have led to shortened reigns and sudden deaths. The 5th dynasty pharaohs shifted their identity to being sons of the sun god Ra, placing themselves under the authority of the priests and further diminishing their own power. By the 6th dynasty, power had fragmented. Provincial governors seized control, and the long, powerless reign of Pepi II led to Egypt's collapse into the chaos of the First Intermediate Period.
In the year 2166 BCE, the world of Abram was collapsing. The great city of Ur, his home, was under threat. To escape the chaos, his father, Terah, led their family on a perilous journey west, settling in the city of Haran. But it was here, away from the polytheistic gods of his youth, that Abram heard a singular voice, a call from a new god, YHWH. The promise was clear: leave your home, and I will make you the father of a great nation in the land of Canaan. This covenant, marked by circumcision, would set his people apart forever. Abram became Abraham, the father of faith.
Under King Shugi, the 3rd dynasty of Ur was a golden age of prosperity, but a silent enemy was growing beneath their feet. Their life-giving irrigation system had a fatal flaw. Over time, salt from the rivers poisoned the land, turning fertile fields into a barren wasteland. Famine and desperation grew. The Amorites, driven by scarcity, pressed against the empire's borders, breaching even the great defensive wall. Betrayal struck from within. The king's own general Ishbi-Era seized control of the grain supply and declared himself king, fracturing the empire. In 2004 BCE, the final blow came. The Elamites invaded, sacking Ur and capturing King Ibisi. The city was devastated. Sumerian era had ended. A civilization's collapse, triggered by environmental disaster, was complete. His people scattered, the legacy in ruins.
Between 2181 and 1782 BC, Egypt was a land divided, a dark age with no single pharaoh, only warring dynasties and powerful lords. Out of this chaos, Mentuhotep emerged. After a 40-year struggle, he unified Egypt, founding the Middle Kingdom and earning the title Second Unifier of the Two Lands. His successor, Amenemhet III, built a new capital and the walls of the ruler, fulfilling an ancient prophecy before his tragic assassination. But it was his grandson, Senusret III, who would bring Egypt to the peak of its glory. Great warrior and builder, he strengthened Egypt's borders, boosted trade, and exploited its resources, creating the golden age of the Middle Kingdom.
Between 2004 and 1750 BCE, as Egypt returned to prosperity, the Mesopotamian plain was a chaotic mixing bowl of power struggles. After the Elamites sacked Ur, the cunning general Ishbi-Era rose in Isin, launching a campaign to reclaim the city and found a new Sumerian dynasty. This sparked a decades-long rivalry with Larsa, while to the north, Assur and Mari rebuilt their strength, creating a powder keg of competing kingdoms. The balance of power was shattered by Shamshi-Adad, who swept in from the north, conquering vast territories and forging the first great Assyrian empire. In the south, Rim-Sin of Larsa united the region, creating a dual threat. Caught between these two giants was the small strategic city of Babylon. It was here that a young king, Hammurabi, began his ascent, cautiously expanding his power and preparing to face the dual threats to his east and north.
In the Yellow River Valley, a great dynasty was born from a legendary struggle against the waters that threatened to swallow the land. This was the Seir dynasty, founded by Yu the Great, whose wisdom and tireless work in flood control united the people. But Yu's merit-based rule gave way to a new system, hereditary succession, a choice that would plunge the kingdom into chaos. A cycle began: wise founders, lazy successors, corruption, and collapse, only for a new dynasty to rise and repeat the pattern. At the dynasty's end, the tyrant Xiajie drained the treasury for his own pleasure, losing the support of his people and his lords. In the east, a virtuous leader named Tang was building support, developing his morality while Jaya's tyranny worsened. Finally, Tang claimed the divine right to avenge the people's wrongs and marched on the capital. 1766 BC, Jaya fled, and Tang became the first emperor of the Shang dynasty. The cycle had begun anew.